Why do we cry? In the 1980s, a scientist named William Frey did something nobody had thought to do. He collected people's tears, two kinds of them. First, he had volunteers cry from cutting onions. Then, he sat them in front of sad films and collected the tears they cried from emotion. And when he analyzed the two side by side, he found something strange. They were chemically different. The emotional tears contained extra proteins, stress hormones, specifically chemicals your body produces when it's under pressure, and then flushes out, which raises a genuinely bizarre question. You are the only creature on Earth that does this. No other animal cries emotional tears, not one. So why do you? Why does salty water leak out of your face when your feelings get too big? Here's the thing nobody tells you. Crying is not a breakdown. It's not weakness, and it's not your body malfunctioning. It's one of the most sophisticated communication tools evolution ever built, and it's aimed at other people. But to understand that, you have to start with the tears that have nothing to do with feelings at all. Because you actually make three completely different types of tears, and only one of them is emotional. The first type is basal tears. These are the boring ones. A thin layer of fluid coating your eyes at all times, keeping them wet, feeding them oxygen, stopping them from drying out. You produce them constantly and never notice. The second type is reflex tears. These are the onion tears. When something irritates your eye, smoke, dust, a chopped onion releasing sulfur gas, your eye floods to wash the attacker out. Pure plumbing, no emotion involved. And then there's the third type, emotional tears, the only kind unique to humans. And these do not come from your eyes being irritated. They come from your brain deciding you need to. So, what is your brain actually trying to do? The first answer is the surprising one. Crying might literally be a chemical release valve. Remember Frey's discovery. Emotional tears carry stress hormones out of your body. So, one theory is that crying is detox. When you're overwhelmed, your body physically pumps the stress chemicals out through your tears, like a pressure release. It fits the feeling, doesn't it? That strange, wrung-out calm after a really good cry. There may be an actual chemical reason you feel lighter afterward. You didn't just express the stress, you partly excreted it. That lump you feel in your throat right before you cry even has a name. It's called the globus sensation. When a wave of emotion hits, your nervous system tries to keep your airway open by holding your glottis wide, while the same signal is telling it to close. Those two commands fight, and the muscle in your throat cramps. That aching lump is the physical sound of you trying not to cry. Your body is at war with itself in real time. But that's the small part of the story, because crying isn't really about you. It's about everyone around you. Think about what a tear actually does. It blurs your vision. For a few seconds, it makes you half blind and defenseless. From a pure survival standpoint, that is a terrible idea. Evolution should have deleted it immediately, unless making yourself vulnerable was the entire point. This is the big idea, and it reframes everything. Crying is a social signal, a visible, undeniable white flag that says, I am overwhelmed, I need help, and I am not a threat to you. When a baby cries, it summons a caregiver. Before it can speak a single word, tears are its emergency broadcast system, and you never fully grow out of it. As an adult, tears still do the same job. They pull people toward you, they lower their defenses, they trigger compassion. Studies show that a face with tears is judged as needing more help and gets it than the exact same face with the tears digitally removed. Your tears are a message written on your face that words are too slow to send, and here's where it gets even stranger. There's a reason emotional tears blur your vision specifically, and it might not be an accident. Some researchers argue that by briefly lowering your own guard, crying signals that you trust the people around you enough to be defenseless in front of them. It's a bonding mechanism. You don't cry in front of enemies, you cry in front of your people, which explains something you've definitely felt. Why is it so much harder to hold back tears when someone asks gently, "Are you okay?" Because kindness is the exact trigger the system was built for. The signal only makes sense if there's someone safe to receive it. But now for the twist. Because we've talked about sadness this whole time, and sadness isn't even close to the whole picture. You cry at weddings, you cry when you're furious, you cry laughing until you can't breathe, you cry when you see your team win, when a soldier comes home, when a baby is born. None of that is sadness. So, what do all of those moments actually have in common? The answer is intensity. Your tears aren't a sadness button. They're an overflow button. They fire whenever an emotion, any emotion, becomes too large for your body to contain. Crying is what happens when feeling exceeds capacity. And there's a beautiful theory about why happy tears exist at all. It's called dimorphous expression. When an emotion becomes overwhelmingly positive, your brain seems to deliberately trigger the opposite response. Tears, to pull you back toward balance. It's the same reason you might squeeze something unbearably cute so hard it almost hurts. Your brain regulates an extreme by firing off its opposite. Crying at joy is your nervous system tapping the brakes. So the tear isn't tied to sadness at all. It's tied to too much. Whatever you're feeling, when the dial gets pushed past the edge, your body reaches for the same release. And it explains why you cry more easily on some days than others. When you're exhausted or hungry or already stressed, the part of your brain that holds the tears back, the prefrontal cortex, is running on empty. So the threshold drops. The same sad song that does nothing on a good day can wreck you at midnight after a terrible one. You haven't gotten more sensitive, your brakes have just gotten weaker. So, why do we cry? Pull it all together. 1. It's chemistry. Emotional tears physically carry stress hormones out of your body, which is part of why you feel calmer afterward. 2. It's a signal. Crying is an honest, unfakeable message to other humans. I'm overwhelmed. I trust you. Please come closer. 3. It's a pressure valve for any emotion that grows too big to hold, whether that's grief, rage, or overwhelming joy. Which brings us back to William Frey in his lab, carefully collecting drops of salt water and finding stress hormones hiding inside them. He was staring at the physical proof of something we all somehow already know. That crying isn't the feeling breaking you, it's the feeling leaving you. You are the only animal that cries from emotion, not because you're the weakest, because you're the most connected. Tears are the price and the proof of caring about anything at all. So the next time your eyes sting and you feel that lump rising in your throat, don't fight it quite so hard. That's not you falling apart. That's a 200,000-year-old system doing exactly what it was built to do, reaching out for someone. If this made you see that lump in your throat a little differently, hit subscribe. It's the whole reason videos like this can keep happening. And drop a comment with a why question that's been living in your head. The best ones become the next video. And be honest, what's the last thing that made you cry? Don't read this. Go watch it.